The Unity of Melbourne here in the sanctuary. Good morning to you who are watching us from the comfort and whatever of your own mobile device or your own computer or your own living room. It is so great to have you right here with us today. We're going to start our worship service off with our musicians and I Am a Light.
By Robert Anderson.
Join us.
This one's a call and response. Here we go. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm living love every day.
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 Spreading peace along the way.
Spreading peace along the way.
Right time.
Right time.
Right place.
Right place.
Living love every day.
Every day.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world. I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world. This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
Let it shine.
I'm living love every day.
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 Spreading peace along the way.
Spreading peace along the way.
Right time.
Right time.
Right place.
Right place.
Living love every day. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world. This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
Yes. I didn't see a lot of people virtually who were tapping their toes. You need to wake up, people. You need to wake up because that was a toe tapper to begin with. Absolutely. Good morning. I'm Randy Fillmore. I'm a licensed Unity teacher here at Unity of Melbourne, and it's my honor, my privilege to serve as your platform assistant for today. I'm going to invite Reverend Don Barton to open us in prayer.
Good morning. I invite you to take a breath. Set aside anything that may weigh on your mind. And just breathe into this moment. Mother, Father God, we thank you for this time together. We thank you for this Christ candle light that we know is a symbol of the Christ presence that shines within each and every one of us. We see this presence within us, knowing that we are divinely blessed. We are holy, sacred beings. And today is our day to shine our light in the world. I am a light. I am the love of the divine expressing in this world. And I am honored to share my light and my love with all I encounter in this moment, in this hour, throughout this day. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Don. Appreciate that. I want to welcome anyone who is here with us in the physical sanctuary for the first time. And those of you who are maybe joining us for the first time virtually, thank you for agreeing to spend your time with us. Our person, Judy, has a bag. If you are here with us for the first time, just please go ahead and kind of raise your hand a little bit. You can do it shyly. That's fine. And she'd be more than happy to make sure that you do have a welcome bag that expresses a little bit about what Unity of Melbourne actually is. And what we are is actually why we are here, why we embody truth principles, why Unity of Melbourne exists, is our why statement. We don't have a mission statement. We don't have a vision statement. We have a why statement, why we exist. and that is we love and accept ourselves and others and heal our world. I'm going to invite you to say that with me, and those of you who are also virtually, please affirm that with me right now. We love and accept ourselves and others, and we heal our world. And one of the ways that we do that is we embody these ideals. And we have 5 hows that we do to make that happen. One of those is living authentically with patience, kindness, and integrity, that we embody these principles. And we have a card that is available on the back table that has why we exist and how we do these, how we embody the why. And we also have on the back of that card our 5 unity principles, the 5 unity principles. And we would invite you to please take 1, 2, 3. They're great to put in your purse. They're great to put on your bathroom mirror so that you're reminded every single day or whenever the need arises to actually look at these cards and embrace them and remember them. For those of you who are joining us virtually, please send us a note in the chat stream, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get in contact with you to see how we can best get that information to you. One of the things that we do, or one of our hows, is connecting and collaborating with organizations. Go ahead, Joseph, change the slide. And later this afternoon, the organization PFLAG will be having a demonstration and march across the Melbourne Causeway. It's going to be starting at the Front Street Park, starting at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And I'll be there, my wife will be there as well. And we invite anyone else to join us for the rally today as well. And PFLAG is going to be one of the organizations that we're supporting here at Unity of Melbourne with providing them space for meetings. So that's a brand new activity that I got a phone call from them just this past week. So we're certainly engaging and proud to engage with them. Other ways that we do things is through understanding our truth principles and the spiritual evolution. One of the ways that we do that is through what we call Zoom In at 10. One of our licensed Unity teachers, Paulette Mason, and our Vice President Board of Trustees, Angela Victor, host a 1-hour session Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. To discuss, it's a discussion, it's not a talk, it's a discussion of Unity principles and Unity ideals and concepts that you might have questions for, or they engage in a dialogue on what those are. Joseph, for the virtual folks, is posting a link right now how to register. If anyone in the sanctuary is interested in that, there's a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary, and put your name and either a telephone number or an email contact, and we'll get that information to you. Another one of the ways that we offer for spiritual enrichment, spiritual engagement, is through an upcoming class, Unity Prayer Adventures in Consciousness, that one of our other licensed Unity teachers, Maggie Roche, will be starting. It was going to start this Tuesday at 10 o'clock here in one of the classrooms, and then Wednesday on Zoom. So Tuesday mornings, Wednesday evening, both in person and virtually. Maggie contracted COVID, so she is not able to do the Tuesday morning class, but she's going to continue with week 1 on Zoom. I've not had a chance to change the website yet, but the first class will be starting not on Tuesday, May 3rd. It'll be Tuesday, May 10th. That'll be the first class for the in-person here, 10 o'clock in the morning at Unity of Melbourne. But if you're signed up for the Wednesday class on Zoom, you should be getting an email with the Zoom link for that very, very soon, within the next, well, probably no later than Monday. We also have another class going on. One of our other licensed Unity teachers, Suzette, has Adventures in Unity Living. The booklet that's going to be discussed over a 4-week time period is Courage to Imagine. And it's a 4-week series. The booklet is available for download, and if you register for that, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. I've got the little flyer right here as well, and it's in the back. And for those of you who are joining us virtually, the link that Joseph posted will also send you to that as well. You can sign up for that information, and then you'll get more information. But the Adventures in Unity Living, it's Monday, starting the 6th of June, between 9 and 11 a.m., and then Monday evening, 6 to 8 p.m., here at the church. It's not going to be offered virtually. It's going to be offered specifically here in the building. So those are the things that we have going on here at Unity of Melbourne. We also have prayer chaplains that are available after the worship service to pray with you. If you are needing immediate prayer assistance, we encourage you to contact Silent Unity at 816-969-2000. In the back of the seats in front of you, except for Reverend Don, who's in the front row and he doesn't have a seat in front of him, there are prayer request forms that we encourage you or invite you to fill out, and there is a prayer box back on the back table for you to put the prayer requests. The prayer requests are prayed for here at Unity of Melbourne for 30 days with our prayer chaplains. Then they are sent to Silent Unity, where they are also prayed for another 30 days. Down at the end of the hall, if you go straight that way, if you go that way, you've got about a 10,000-mile trip all the way around the earth. We have our children who are down there right now, and their program this week is entitled Body and Mind, and they are understanding the importance of your mind and body and how they work together, and the importance of taking care of both. It's not just a one thing or the other thing. It's both. It's both. And that's what their lesson is for today. So what I'm going to ask right now is for everyone to kind of get that energy, that warmth of the hands, and you can bless this way, or you can bless that way. And let me mirror it back. That way the energy's going straight down to our education wing as we bless our children by saying, children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. All right. One last thing before I say anything else. A couple of weeks ago, Val Holloway, our president of the Board of Trustees, had a table in the lobby, and that she had a bunch of cards, little note cards, and the congregation was invited to write notes to one of our long-time, not only members, but founder of Unity of Melbourne, Jane Thompson. Jane moved from just up the street up to St. Augustine to be closer to her adult children. And anyway, Jane got the note cards, and she sent me an email. She's probably watching right now because I send her an email every Friday with the link so that she can join us. And Jane, we love you. She said, thanks for the Sunday service, and most importantly, the closed captioning. You are so appreciated. Oh, and I surely enjoyed the multitude of miss you cards I received. What a sweet surprise. Sincerely, Jane. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And now we are done with all of my talking. My ego can go back in check. It was a comment from the pre-service, but thank you. Our musicians are going to sing.
It's Up to Me by
It's
Sue
Up to
K.
Me.
Riley
All right.
and Glenn Rathel and Nathan Aswell.
Thank you very much.
If it's to be, if it's to be, if it's to be, it's up to me. If I seek the truth, let me speak the truth. If I'm lost in doubt, let me believe. I know I can be the change I want to see. 'Cause if it's to up to me. If I dream of peace, let me be the peace. When I start from love, I am love. I know I can be the change I want to see. So if it's to be, if it's to be, if it's to be, it's up to me. You know it's up to me. You know it's up to, if it's to be, you know it's up to me.
Good morning again. I'm Reverend Don Barton, and I am also honored and just privileged to be here and to speak with you this morning. You know, it's May already. I was like, how did that happen? May, here comes spring and all its glory, and just made me think of spring as the time of new beginnings. It's the time of love. We start this time of year with Valentine's Day, and next week we have Mother's Day, and then we move into Father's Day, and June is the month for weddings. So this time of year is all about love and all of its many facets. And love is such a powerful force in the whole unity theology and the whole unity movement that I started thinking what actually is a deeper meaning of love and how it is active in our lives and a real powerful force of love. So, of course, you go back to Charles Fillmore, Unity co-founder, and say, what did he have to say about love? And quite a lot, actually. But Charles took things always to this 10,000-foot level of ultimate concepts. And he did the same thing with love. Excuse me. So I looked up in Dynamics for Living, one of his books. And he talks about love, being the universal unifying force. That love in a divine level is the harmonizing force of nature, of the world, of the universe. This universal, equalizing, harmonizing force that connects everyone and everything. It's the power behind all things. And we need to be connected with that divine force. We need to be connected with that level of love, divine love on this highest level. Because, Charles says, when we're connected with that divine love and we're coming from that place, that whatever we put as the object of our love, we connect all the forces of our soul on that object or that person or that thing. That it isn't just sending love, but you're actually connecting your soul to whatever it is that you're bestowing your love upon. All the forces of your soul. And all of those forces are a year's worth of unity talks. There's a lot of things there. All the powers, just the simple 12 powers, you can start there. But all the forces of your soul you connect with someone when you bestow your love upon them. So he says to be in connection with this love, Charles says we meditate. We meditate on that concept of love. And as we have that concept of love, of pure divine love in our consciousness, that what we do is we create this positive current of love energy in our lives. A positive energy of love. And he says we can take that love energy, that power of love, and send it forth with force, with our own power. And it has the power and the ability to counteract and negate any negative or hate thoughts that are coming at us. That's how powerful divine love is. That when you are in connection with the divine love and connect your soul and send it forth, it can actually, and I'm thinking like Star Trek's force field kind of thing, but negate, harmonize, equalize the negative energy that's coming at you from someone. And not only, does Charles say, it will negate the energy they're sending at you, it will negate the energy within them and with those that they associate. So if they're spreading that negative energy, you have the power within you to offset it. Not only from coming at you, but for them spreading it to somebody else. That's the power of divine love. And he says another aspect of this love, he calls it the magnet of the universe. It's the magnetic force of the universe. Because not only does it have the power to go forth, it also has this power to draw to you. It draws to you what you need. He says you can affirm prosperity and abundance for years and wonder why nothing's ever happening. Because without love, you don't have the power to attract it. They're empty words. They're empty intentions. It's the magnetic power of love that brings to you what it is you're looking for and trying to create in your life. That's why we want to connect with divine love, because we can do good with it and it brings good to us. Fascinating, incredible, powerful love. He goes on in the Talks on Truth, another book that he wrote, and he says that love doesn't see anything wrong with what it loves. Think of that. Love doesn't see anything for what it loves. It has no power of discrimination. It's without discrimination when you send your love, divine love, purely to someone. Because he says, it goes forth, and he says, takes no account of the result. Takes no account of the result. It simply loves with the intention of being loved. And whatever happens on the other side is totally irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. You simply send forth your love, and it doesn't matter what happens for the receptive person, the receptive situation, the receptive circumstances. It loves just for the beingness, just for the ability to, just for the sake of loving. That's divine love. So I'm looking at this and all the many facets of the way that we see love in our world, and they're all facets of it. It's all expressions of divine love. But it's not quite all divine love, because you have romantic love. You have love for family members. You have love for friends. You have love for each other in this room. You have love for this ministry. You have love for your country. You have love of your pets. You have love of maybe country music. Those are all pieces of love. But he's talking about something much bigger, something that's not discriminating. He's talking about unconditional love. Unconditional love. Unconditional love. And where do we use it? How do we manifest it in our lives? And the first place we need to start using this power of divine love that we connect to through meditation is on ourselves. That's the first place that we really need unconditional love. It's on ourselves, because we're our worst critics. We really are hard on ourselves. We can go back and tell anyone everything wrong we've ever done in our lives. Every mistake we've ever made, and how we coulda, shoulda, woulda done it better. But we need to get past that and love ourselves unconditionally. I recently did a book study of the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And then he and his son, Don Jose Ruiz, wrote the 5th Agreement. And in the 5th Agreement, they talk about the agreement to always do your best. And one of the principles I took away from this, and one of the insights, was that if you always do your best, you always set your intention to do your best, that even when you think you didn't do your best, you really did. You really did. Because your best changes over time. It changes in circumstances. You may be able to do something in the morning that 8 hours or 12 hours or 14 hours later in the day when you're exhausted, you can't do it, because that's not your best at that moment. But when it happened in those circumstances, you did your best, because if you could have done better, you would have. Unless you're making a really conscious effort to do something wrong or bad, you did the best you could. No, I'm fine. So you just think, if I did the best I could even when I think I made a mistake or when I did wrong, and allow myself to believe I did the best I did in that moment, then you can forgive. And you can be a little bit more accepting. And you can be a little bit more loving. And move into unconditional love. And then they say in the book, the Ruizes, that once you get to a place where you can unconditionally love yourself, then you can unconditionally love others. And that gets a little trickier. But he says once you're able to start loving others unconditionally as you love yourself unconditionally, then your unconditional love becomes impersonal. And I thought that doesn't sound very loving. That your love becomes impersonal. But what they mean in the book is, by impersonal, is now your love doesn't need a reason. You don't need a reason to love somebody because they're a family member, because they're a friend, because they go to your church, because they're in the same political party you're in, because they're in your country. You don't choose to love anymore if you're loving unconditionally. That now you're simply loving with the pure intention of loving. And you don't need a reason or a cause. And it just comes naturally because now that's who and what you are. But loving others can be really, really hard. To love others unconditionally can be really, really hard. So of course, I go where else but to Jesus, our teacher and way shower, because his ministry really was a ministry of love. And he says, this new commandment that I give you is to love one another as I have loved you. And how exactly did he do that? He loved them unconditionally. If you go through the Gospels and just read the stuff he had to go through with his apostles, he would teach them and teach them and teach them, and then they'd come back and get it wrong again, and he'd be like, oh, you're not listening. He would ask them to pray and meditate with him, and then he'd come back and go, come on, stay awake. Wake up. Come on. Again, you fell asleep. Just all I'm asking for is just a little support here. But he loved them unconditionally. And these were his closest friends and loved ones. And that's not to say that he didn't like everything they did or around him, what the world was happening around him and what other people were doing. That's not what he was doing. But above and outside of their actions, he was loving them unconditionally. He was kicking over tables in the marketplace, and driving out the money changers. But that doesn't mean he wasn't loving them unconditionally. He was disapproving of their behavior. And later he had to love himself unconditionally because later he might have thought, that wasn't my best in that moment. I could have done that better. But in that moment was his best. In his humanness, that was his best. So he had to love himself unconditionally. And then he had to love others unconditionally. And in Luke, he talks about what you do when you're not really getting along with the people that you're loving unconditionally. Because in Luke 26, he's hanging from a cross. And the people that have beat him and stripped him and insulted him and abused him and tortured him and are killing him are in front of him. And he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's some unconditional love. That he wants them forgiven. That he is suffering from what's going on in front of him. He is the victim of their actions at the time and their words and their motives. And yet, he's going to love them through it. That's a level of unconditional love to aspire to. That's a level of unconditional love that I doubt I could ever rise to. But it's the intention of living at that level that has the power for us. Because really, I think that's the hardest place to be with unconditional love. It's when you're in conflict with someone. I came up with this talk title, and I have to tell you, Spirit works in your lives every single moment of every single day, because I came up with this talk title weeks ago. I'm going to talk about unconditional love, and Spirit said, oh, you want to teach about unconditional love? Let me teach you something about unconditional love. Let me just throw a little conflict right in your face. So ask any minister if they're talking, that talk is as much about to them as from them. So I know what it's like and how difficult it is to love someone when they're in opposition to you, when you're the victim of whatever they're doing. Because in any conflict of situation, you have to love yourself through it too, because you're doing your best in it. There may have been a better choice of words you could have used. There could have been a time period you could have waited before you had that follow-up. There could have been a backspace you could have hit before that email was sent. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But at the time, that was your best. And whatever someone or something or some situation is doing that you're in conflict with, you have to remember they're doing their best also. They're doing their best. Whether you would agree with it or not, they're doing their best. But then unconditional love is also not something. Unconditional love is also not excusing. It's not allowing. It's not giving permission to. It's not saying there aren't consequences to my actions or your actions. It's saying, I'm going to love you through this, and I'm going to love me through this. Even though whatever's going on between us may mean we will never speak again, or we will never be in the same room again, or we will never see eye to eye on this. We will never vote the same way ever on an issue. However, the you behind the actions, behind the words, behind the choices you make, that I can love unconditionally. That I can allow to be who you are at your highest level. That I don't have to choose to love. That I don't need a reason to love, because my intention is to love unconditionally. That's where my power comes from. That's where I can send forth my good in the world. And whatever's coming at me, I have the power to offset. I have the power to negate. And when I walk and talk and move with unconditional love, the universe comes in behind me to support it and draws to me what I want to create from that place of love. I have that magnetic power of the universe coming in. I have that unconditional love. I have that connection with the divine that moves me forward and hopefully brings about what I'm looking for. Sometimes it brings forth exactly what I need, not what I'm looking for. Sometimes what I'm getting in love is a lesson, a learning, growth. And I can only love myself through it and love the people who are teaching me the lesson. So my takeaway on unconditional love is the power of it, the intention of being in it, being connected with it, and then what it can do for me. But it's really the intention. It's loving simply for the ability to love. It's being in a loving place, simply for being in a loving place. It's being connected with divine love, simply to be in the presence of divine love. And with prayer and with meditation and with my intention to ever widen that flow of positive energy that's flowing through me so that I can express it in the world. And sometimes it's a river and sometimes it's a trickle. Because I'm human. Because we're all human. So we simply do the best that we can. We do the best that we can. We set our intention to love unconditionally and simply love for the ability and the beingness of being in the presence of love unconditionally. So we're going to meditate on that in just a moment. And in the meantime, let's have a song. Here is my breath.
My breath, here is my life, here in this moment, here is God, here is
I invite you to come into this time of meditation, to set aside anything you may be holding on to, physically, spiritually, or emotionally. Place your feet flat on the floor, square your shoulders and hips. Take a deep breath. I invite you to just breathe into this moment as we move our attention into our heart space. We open ourselves up to a greater connection with the divine that is around and through us at all times. I invite you to breathe into this moment. To take this next breath to reconnect with your soul. As we move into this stillness, we know that we are at one with the divine, that we are at peace, that we are safe, and in this moment we have all that we need. That the presence of the divine flows in and through us. And we recognize in this stillness the presence of love, the presence of an overriding and abundant love that is warm and supportive, caring and powerful. And we see our connection with this divine love. I am one with divine love. I am one with divine love. Like a river of warm light flowing down and through us, our soul is illuminated and empowered by the presence of divine love. Our mind, our soul, our body fills with divine love. We allow that presence to expand beyond ourselves. And we see this divine love being shared from us and through us to friends, family members, to this congregation, to this city, to this state, to this world, as we are a conduit of the divine power of love. We simply breathe in the divine, knowing it is the life force that harmonizes and unites all of us. We breathe in divine love, knowing it draws to us all our soul desires. We breathe in love, knowing that it empowers us to love unconditionally ourselves, others, the world. So we simply take this thought into a moment of silence. I am divine love. I am divine love. I am divine love. I am divine love. Empowered and emboldened, I allow divine love to flow in and through me. I claim it as my power, as my intention, as I set my attention on the presence of the divine love in and through me now. I love myself unconditionally. I choose to love others unconditionally. I choose unconditional love as the overriding powerful presence in my thoughts, my words, my actions. I am divine love in this moment, for this hour, during this day, and throughout this lifetime. I am love, and so it is. Amen.
Here is my breath. Here is my life. Here in this moment. Here is God. Here is my breath. Here is my life. Here in this moment. Here is God.
Thank you, Reverend Don. That's inspiring, very inspiring. And for those who would like to, yes. And for those who would like to engage in a conversation about unconditional love with Reverend Don, we do something called Sunday Talk Discussion at 11:45 until 12:30. And it is a discussion. We do it in our hospitality area where it's a dialogue. And for those of you virtually, it's also available on Zoom. Joseph will be posting the link for that here very, very shortly. But it's a dialogue of the concepts that Reverend Don presented in today's talk. So if there's something in your mind that says, wait a minute, I don't quite either understand that, or dagnabbit, that raised the hair on certainly the back of my neck because there's nothing up here. But it's something that allows the engagement of the topic. So I'd invite you to take the opportunity at 11:45 after the service, and again, both here in hospitality, just down the hall, and virtually as well. We are continually blessed here at Unity of Melbourne with your presence here and in our own lives individually. And in the back of the seat cards, or the seat packets, there is a little card that says, "This week I was blessed by." I would encourage you, if you feel so inclined, to take that card out and maybe write something that you were blessed by. This letter from Jane, for me, that was a blessing that came from her today. And we blessed her through the actions of the note cards. So you see how it just continues to cycle. We have this opportunity that you can fill it out, because as you put energy to it, guess what? It multiplies and it comes back. You can take the card with you, fill out two. One that you can take with you and one you can leave here, because in just a moment we're going to invite you to take these blessing cards and put them in the basket. And for those of you that are going to make a donation, a contribution to Unity of Melbourne, we're going to, in just a few moments, invite you to go ahead and bring the donation contribution up and put it in the basket. Even if you don't have a contribution, even if you don't have a blessing, please, 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 please come up and bless the basket. Bless the basket. Our musicians are going to sing "God is My Source" on that. But I do want to mention, I'm going to do it after. Joseph, we'll go to the website after, a little bit later. We're going to go ahead and take the opportunity now to affirm our prosperity a blessing, which is thine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and I am grateful. We're going to go ahead right now, and our musicians will sing, God is my source.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Let's sing it together one more time. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
And now I'm going to invite everyone to stand as we express our gratitude as our musicians sing, I Am So Grateful, and for you in the sanctuary and those virtually, we're going to do the hand motions to that. The hand motions will be displayed on the screens here, and also virtually you'll see the musicians, you'll see the hand motions, and the congregation. So please, let's express our gratitude with I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
Invite you to rub your loving hands together and send your energy this way as we put a final blessing on this offering. Mother, Father God, we thank you for these gifts, recognizing them as divine examples of your infinite substance made manifest in every aspect of our lives. We know, acknowledge, and affirm that each gift is blessed, multiplied, and returned to each giver in the form and in the manner best suited to support their soul's growth. and for our increased understanding of this divine law of giving and receiving. We give thanks, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Don. Next week, we are celebrating Mother's Day. Celebrating Mother's Day. And one of the things that we put out in the e-news is the invitation to bring photographs of whoever happened to fill the feminine energy, the feminine divinity in your life. Now, we have a table in the back of the sanctuary, and it's back in that corner that we're going to invite everyone. And Joseph, go ahead and bring that camera up, please, and both online and yeah, here we go. It's in the back. Bring the images, the photographs, the pictures next week, and we'll take time to go ahead and put the photographs on the table. If you want to put the photographs on before the service, please do that. If you have a digital copy as opposed to a hard copy, send it to admin@unityofmelbourne.com. Please get it no later than Friday morning, because we're going to have to get them all compiled and put them in there. Don't wait till the last minute, please. But it's a way to recognize that energy that is critical, good or bad, to who we are today. So we're celebrating that energy, and we invite the virtual congregation as well as the physical congregation, either through a digital photograph or through a hard page photograph. And we started, I've already received some, and we've got them rotating there right now. You can't really see it on the monitors here, but as you leave, you'll see them that they are there. And we are so thankful that we have the opportunity to do that. So that's coming up next week. We also, that's what we're doing next week. I'm trying to remember who's even going to be here. I think it's Reverend Vernell Nelson. Huh? And yes, Bo Frazier will be here next Sunday, sitting in on guitar. We've got some special music that is going to be played, and we're looking forward to that, very much so. Let's go ahead, Joseph. Let's go ahead and bring up that page. I want to announce it will be in the e-news coming up later this week. And if you're not getting our e-news, please, there's a sign-up sheet in the back for that. We send out the e-news on Wednesday, and then another one on late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Different content. What we're looking to do now is, it's called Adopt a Project at Unity of Melbourne. And there are a number of things, little projects that are needed to keep this 16,000 square foot building engaged. Things like the quarterly maintenance on the 4 HVAC systems that we have, especially now as we're coming up to summertime. There is sponsoring the musicians and the tech people that keep the service active. Joseph, go ahead and scroll down on that. Water hoses to get water to the front of the building so we can pressure wash things up front, because the only spigots on this building are out back. So we have to go either through or around. And I just don't feel like going through the building in water. That's just not a good thing. Our electronic sign, there are a number of things on there. And you can donate money towards those individual projects through our website, unityofmelbourne.com, and click on the donate button on the top right. And you can contribute to each of any of the activities the projects that we have ongoing here, everything from replacing the light bulbs in the hallway. There are 51 U-shaped light bulbs that take 40 watts each. And we've already got 24 that we're replacing with LEDs that take less than half of that wattage, which then gives us more light at half the cost. So these are the things that we're trying to be good stewards of the money that we have. So those are all opportunities. It went live yesterday, and I want to thank Reverend Kelly Isola for helping me manifest this and the board's approval to make this happen. So thank you very much, and please take that opportunity as well. I want to thank our wonderful musicians who continue to knock it out of the park every single week. And I found earlier today they are not only well-versed in singing and performing, but they also do wonderful airline instructions. And that just shows their versatility of making sure that everyone in not only the physical realm, but also the virtual realm, that you are well cared for in this sacred space, not necessarily of an airplane, but the sacred space of Unity of Melbourne. And thank them for that. Mr. Fred Goodnight on drums. Mr. Ron Cobb on bass. Mr. Stoney Copeland on piano. On harmony vocals, Vashti St. Germain. Deborah Thornton on lead vocal. And head purser. Head purser. I said head purser. Yes, you're not a steward. You're a head purser. And Mr. Bo Frazier, who's in the back, who's waiting to come in and rehearse the folks, and we're looking for Bo next week. I want to mention our prayer chaplains will be available immediately following the service here in the sanctuary. I want to thank our tech team of Kevin and Joseph in the back. We throw a lot of things at them at the last minute. Thank you so very, very much. Don't forget the classes that we have coming up. Maggie's class about Unity Prayer that's scheduled for Tuesday. If you're registered for it, you'll get an email saying that it's going to be pushed back, just the Tuesday class a week. And we've also got additional sign-up sheets for Suzette's class and the Zoom in at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Reverend Don, thank you so very much for being here. Greatly appreciate that. And the Sunday Talk discussion will be in about 27 minutes as well. I want to thank Adolfo, Tanya, Joycelyn, Tracy, Barbara, Eldridge, Paulette, Angela, Julie, Maggie, Jane, and Renee for being our virtual congregation, or among our virtual congregations. So thank you so very, very much. We're going to close our service now with the prayer for protection, and then at the end, right after the prayer for protection, in honor of the life of Naomi Judd, we're going to change the songs up instead of what was planned. But in still keeping with the theme of unconditional love, our musicians worked this morning on Love Can Build a Bridge. So we're going to do that one. But right now, it's the prayer for protection. So please join me as we close our service by saying and affirming, the light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. And because God is, all is well.
I know a lot of you know this. Please sing it with us.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I
would understand that love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Have a blessed week. Thank you for coming.
I am born from the strength of love. Yes, I am born from the strength of love.